The Moon. Earth's moon is the fifth largest in the solar system, and, relative to its planet, by far the biggest, a quarter of Earth's own diameter. It most likely formed 4.5 billion years ago, when a Mars-sized body struck the young Earth and flung molten debris into orbit, which coalesced into the Moon. It is tidally locked, so the same face is always turned toward us. Its steady gravitational pull stabilizes the tilt of Earth's axis, keeping our climate from swinging wildly over time. It is also slowly drifting away, receding by about 3.8 centimeters each year, meaning it once loomed far larger in the sky. Io. Io is the innermost of Jupiter's 4 large moons, and the most volcanically active body in the entire solar system. Its surface is covered in hundreds of active volcanoes, some launching plumes of sulfur and ash hundreds of kilometers into space. This violence is driven by tidal heating. Caught in a gravitational tug-of-war between Jupiter and the neighboring moons, Io is constantly flexed and squeezed, and the friction melts its interior. It has almost no impact craters, because its surface is repaved by eruptions faster than craters can accumulate. Its mottled yellow, orange, and black coloring comes from sulfur compounds coating everything. Europa. Europa is one of the most promising places to search for life beyond Earth. Its surface is a shell of ice, remarkably smooth and crisscrossed by long reddish cracks, and beneath that shell lies a global ocean of liquid salt water. That hidden ocean may contain twice as much water as all of Earth's oceans combined, kept liquid by tidal heating from Jupiter. Where there is water, warmth, and chemistry, there may be the conditions for life. A dedicated spacecraft, Europa Clipper, is now on its way to study the moon's icy shell and the ocean beneath it in detail. Ganymede. Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system, bigger even than the planet Mercury. It is the only moon known to generate its own magnetic field, produced by a churning core of liquid iron deep inside it, which creates faint auroras near its poles. Like Europa, it hides a salty ocean beneath its icy surface, possibly holding more water than all of Earth. Its surface is a patchwork of ancient dark cratered terrain and younger grooved regions carved by tectonic activity long ago. A European spacecraft is currently en route to enter orbit around it, the first mission ever to orbit a moon other than our own. Callisto. Callisto is the outermost of Jupiter's large moons, and the most heavily cratered object in the solar system. Its surface is ancient, effectively unchanged for around 4 billion years, with no volcanoes or tectonics to erase the scars of countless impacts. It too may hide a subsurface ocean. Because it orbits far from Jupiter, it sits outside the planet's most intense radiation belts, receiving a far lower dose than the inner moons. That relative safety, combined with its stable old surface, has made Callisto a leading candidate for a future crewed base from which to explore the Jupiter system. Titan. Titan is Saturn's largest moon and the second largest in the solar system, and it is the only moon with a thick atmosphere, denser even than Earth's and rich in nitrogen. It is also the only world besides Earth with stable liquid on its surface, but instead of water, Titan has rivers, lakes, and seas of liquid methane and ethane, fed by a cycle of methane rain. Beneath its crust lies a global ocean of water. In 2005, a probe descended through its orange haze and landed on the surface, the most distant landing humanity has ever achieved. Enceladus. Enceladus is a small, brilliantly white moon of Saturn that hides one of the biggest surprises in the solar system. From long fractures near its south pole, called tiger stripes, enormous geysers erupt continuously, jetting water vapor and ice grains hundreds of kilometers into space. That water comes from a global ocean beneath the ice, and the plumes have been found to contain salts and organic molecules, the raw ingredients associated with life. The ejected ice even feeds one of Saturn's rings. Despite being only about 500 kilometers across, this tiny moon is now one of the top targets in the search for alien life. Mimas. Mimas is a heavily cratered moon of Saturn, best known for its resemblance to a famous fictional space station. A single colossal impact crater called Herschel spans nearly a third of its diameter, complete with a towering central peak, giving the little moon the look of a giant eye. For decades, it was assumed to be a frozen, geologically dead ball of ice and rock, but recent analysis of its subtle wobble suggests that Mimas too may conceal a young ocean of liquid water beneath its battered surface, hidden so well that it betrays almost no sign of itself from outside. Iapetus. Iapetus is one of the strangest moons of Saturn, famous for being two colors at once. One hemisphere is dark as coal, while the other is bright as fresh snow, a contrast so extreme it puzzled astronomers for centuries. The leading explanation is that dark dust swept up from an outer moon coats its leading face, which then heats up and drives its ice to migrate to the colder, brighter side. Iapetus also has a bizarre feature, a mountainous ridge running almost exactly along its equator, up to 20 kilometers high, that gives it the shape of a walnut. Its origin remains unexplained. Miranda. Miranda is the smallest of Uranus's 5 major moons, and one of the most bizarre-looking objects in the solar system. Its surface is a chaotic patchwork of mismatched terrains jammed together, with grooved regions, ridges, and valleys that look as though the moon was shattered and haphazardly reassembled. It is home to Verona Rupus, a cliff that may rise as high as 20 kilometers, the tallest known cliff anywhere in the solar system. Because Miranda's gravity is so weak, an object falling from the top of that cliff would take several minutes to reach the bottom, drifting down almost gently. Triton. Triton is Neptune's largest moon, and it does something no other large moon does. It orbits backward in the opposite direction to Neptune's spin. That retrograde path is a giveaway that Triton did not form around Neptune at all, but was a Kuiper belt object captured by the planet's gravity long ago. It has a young, lightly cratered surface, a thin nitrogen atmosphere, and active geysers that erupt nitrogen gas from beneath the ice. It is also doomed. Neptune's gravity is slowly dragging it inward, and in a few billion years it will be torn apart into a ring around the planet. Charon. Charon is the largest moon of Pluto, and it is so big relative to Pluto, more than half its diameter, that the two do not simply orbit as planet and satellite. They circle a shared point in the empty space between them, wheeling around each other like a double system. They are also mutually tidally locked, each keeping the same face permanently turned toward the other, so an observer on one would see the other hanging motionless in the sky forever. When New Horizons flew past in 2015, it revealed a vast canyon system and a strange dark reddish cap covering Charon's north pole. Dysnomia. Dysnomia is the moon of Eris, a dwarf planet in the scattered disk far beyond Pluto, and it is one of the most distant known moons in the entire solar system. It is a dark body, several hundred kilometers across, that circles Eris roughly once every 16 days. Tracking its slow orbit is how astronomers first weighed Eris and discovered that the dwarf planet is actually more massive than Pluto, a measurement that helped trigger the debate which ultimately stripped Pluto of its planetary status. Out here, sunlight is thousands of times fainter than on Earth, and Dysnomia marks the frozen outer frontier of the worlds we have so far mapped. Thanks for watching. Which moon did I miss? Let me know in the comments. Also, please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.